Chief Meteorologist Tom Coombs here, and I want to talk about the heat and more so the extreme humidity and the heat index. It is sweltering this week, and there is no relief until next week, not until the end of the weekend. And we've started seeing some cancellations of events, especially high school sports in the evenings. And this may be something that we really need to think about, especially when it comes to the criteria for canceling or delaying some events because of heat. It's not something that we've typically had to think about in Indiana or Michigan, but it's something that we may actually need to think about. Looking on websites, Indiana, from what I can tell, the IHSAA does not have a policy. They have some guidelines or some information about the heat index and what to look out for and how to be careful, but there is no specific stop, go, caution policy of what to do. It's laid up to its members. So some schools are canceling, others aren't. It may be more necessary that the IHSAA needs to look at this because the heat isn't going away. Now, looking at the state of Michigan, Michigan does have policies that we can find. The heat index, if it's below 95 degrees, it's just taking breaks. The heat index is 95 to 99. We're looking at the possibility of needing more water at those practices, taking more breaks. If it's 99 to 104, they start talking about the possibility of postponing. And that may be something we really need to look into for the next couple of days is, do you cancel or maybe you just postpone an hour? And I'm really thinking about high school football, maybe 8 o'clock instead of a 7 o'clock kickoff could make a big difference. And at 104, it's an all-out stop for the heat index. They stop all sports altogether, period. And that's really something that I think we have to start thinking about is a criteria and what to follow for everyone when it comes to heat. The heat index on Thursday will likely be between 95 and 100. This is just a projection, but this would fall back into that caution stays, at least in Michigan. But what do you do in Indiana? There will likely be a heat advisory, and that was the criteria for some school districts. That's okay to follow. Just have a criteria and be consistent. And I just want to look at the heat index through 7 o'clock on Friday. It's still close to 95 possibly and could be very steamy. And this is the typical kickoff time for a lot of high school football on Friday. So something else to really think about. And this isn't a one-off year. That's also important. We give some important stats. We've only had 9 90-degree days so far this summer, but we're likely going to see more of those just this week. But the bigger factor here is the nights above 68. Already a record at 38 this season, and we're not done with summer yet. We're going to keep adding to both of these totals. And it's the nights above 68 that's the real sign that we're getting muggier and more humid and really having that higher heat index. We're just not cooling off at night. And here's the projection. We've reached a milestone today. We're at 40 now, here on August the 25th. 40 days and nights where we've had either a high of 90, a low above 68, or both. And this is more than last year. And you look at the projections for 2050, depending on what climate scenario, if we take action or not, we're falling right into this trend line that this is going to be the new normal, which means we need to start planning and thinking about extreme heat a lot more.